Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. Friends, it was a wonderful, relaxing weekend. Thanks for watching my shorts video. I got a newfound respect for all those content creators who just use an iPhone and a selfie stick and walk out there and make videos about travel and everything. It's amazing, but it's very difficult to make those kind of videos. I found that out firsthand, so hats off to those guys. Now, back to the market commentary today. I think this week will open with cautious rally. Wall Street begins the week on edge as futures trade mostly flat, following a Friday closing where S&P 500 and Nasdaq set new record highs, buoyed by the tech momentum in mega caps like Microsoft and Tesla. And Wednesday's Federal Reserve meeting, with markets confidently pricing in a quarter-point rate cut, is coming to an end. It's going to be like an anticlimax. Traders see a 96% chance of a reduction based on the latest futures. And tech stocks like Oracle, Supermicrocomputer, NVDA, and Microsoft, these all remain in focus. Of course, Oracle has cooled off a bit after last week's explosive AI deals gain. Sector leadership is still narrow, with utilities and discretionaries showing relative support, while small and mid caps are lagging. Insider selling is taking place in a big way. In my pre-market shorts, I had that as a title saying insider selling versus FOMO retail buying. So this week's rally seems to look like it's increasingly fragile. Insider selling has accelerated into this surge. Major executives and family trusts at Fox Corp, News Corp, and Arista Networks unloaded billions in stock over the past week. Even Jensen Huang has sold. Jeff Bezos has sold. Meanwhile, some high-profile buys stand out in a few undervalued small caps, but the number of insider buys is minuscule compared to the amount of insider sales. Salesforce director and sponsor added positions on perceived value. But overall, the ratio of insider sales to buys signals caution. Insiders are cashing out while the market is at all-time high, even as retail investors pile in out of fear of missing out, chasing momentum and headline AI deals. Many retail flows are rotating into large cap growth and trending meme stocks, not always backed by strong fundamentals. And last week's inflation report undershot consensus, supporting rate cut expectations, but labor market data remains mixed. This week's watch for Tuesday's, during this week, you should watch for Tuesday's retail sales print and Fed commentary on economic risks. And the yield curve shifts and cautions cautious. Sorry. The yield curve shifts and caution in breadth suggests the market may be overstretched. And I've been talking about this for almost 3 months, but the momentum has been overtaking everything. So basically, my story is that fundamentally everything is screwed up very badly, but the market momentum is just pushing up. And I think we have to chase the momentum while being cautious to sell off at the shortest sign of trouble, just like a deer in a forest. Overbought conditions and negative money flow hint at positive pullbacks if Fed or retail news disappoints. And I think the bullish price action this September defies historical seasonality, but with insiders selling heavily and retail chasers active, volatility risk is rising. The Fed's decision and forward guidance this week could trigger a major shift in sentiment. It could also be buy the rumor and sell the news even before the end of September. So don't ignore the signals beneath the surface. That is my message. Of course, none of this is financial advice. This is just me as a retail investor sharing my opinion with you guys. And I would like to get your feedback in the comment section so that I can also benefit from your understanding of what's happening in the market. That said, I think it's now time for us to get into the TradingView platform and do a quick check on what the markets are telling us. So here we are in the S&P 500 futures section. And just give me a second while I look at what's happening in the charts out here. Yeah, I got my grip on things. Okay, so this is the S&P 500 futures chart. Every candle is a one-day candle. And as you can see, we are up 0.20%. So this means that the momentum with the retail investors is very strong, regardless of all the factors that I have mentioned. So we are looking like we're going to open up positive, and we are going to, I think, keep on riding up until Wednesday. I don't know whether this momentum is something that we should rely on, but I would continue to be bullish with an aim of selling at short notice. So I'll be monitoring my stocks very closely today. In terms of stocks, I have NVDA, which probably is negative this morning because of the Chinese news about antitrust investigations and potential fines that could be significant. So I have NVIDIA, and I have a few other stocks that I have got into. I'll give you a roundup of that probably in a separate shorts video. But I also have my shorts which I have reduced. I have reduced my S&P 500 shorts by half. And I still have FNGD, which I have reduced a little bit, but I still have a good exposure out there. So I'm going to be looking at selling off my longs at the shortest hint of turnaround. Now, S&P 500, even though the market sentiment is bearish, MACD is bullish, momentum is above average, plenty of room on the RSI. So momentum indicates that we are going to continue going up. Same is the case for NASDAQ. Overnight, we have gone above our all-time high. We have broken about 24,097.25, which was a resistance for us, this red line. And right now we are above it. So I'm going to make that as a support. Our market sentiment is still bearish. MACD is more absolutely bullish, moving away from the signal line. Momentum is very strong, plenty of room on the RSI. So I wouldn't bet against this kind of a momentum. Dollar index is kind of dropping a little bit. It is coming towards a support of 97.30. And the long-term bonds are all having an increase in the yields, whereas the 5-year has seen a drop in the yields, minor drop in the yields. Canadian 5-year continues to march upwards. This is causing me a little bit of distress. I was hoping it would come down. On Wednesday, we have both Canadian as well as US Fed coming up with their rate cut announcement. In Canada also, we are expecting a rate cut of around 25 basis point. In the US, there is a rate cut expectation of at least 25 basis point. And I think it's going to be the buy the rumor, sell the news event until we get further hints of further rate cuts. So bad news is good news, still continues with the market, in my opinion. That said, I would like to go and look at the indices, and S&P 500 has got a resistance today at around 6,674, and it has got a support at around 6,552. Market sentiment remains bearish. MACD is bullish, moving away from the signal line. Momentum is above average, almost close to overbought, but there is plenty of room on the RSI. It could go all the way up to 76.70 at the very least for S&P 500 based on previous track record. So S&P can go up further. The NASDAQ is up 0.42 as of yesterday, and that means that our support at 23,965.86 remains intact. I'm going to draw this line further. And I would say that our resistance is going to be at around 25,028. And I don't think we're going to reach that in one shot, but we'll have plenty of room to go up because RSI also has plenty of room. Momentum is very strong. Even though MACD is bullish, we have the market sentiment being bearish, trying to recover. Everything depends on the momentum and the FOMO. If the FOMO breaks, I think we have a big problem. Our VIX is looking a little bit volatile this morning. Even though it started much higher, it has come down. We have a little bit of VIX going up today, showing that there is some kind of volatility that's likely to happen today. But I won't hold my breath for that. Gold is telling a different story altogether. Gold is saying that overall there is plenty of risks. We have got a bullish bull flag out here. And we got a bullish target of 3,891. I think we are marching towards that direction. Overall market sentiment is still strongly bullish. MACD is still bullish. Momentum is above average. It's overbought. But in the past, we have gone all the way up to 84.10 on the RSI scale. So I would say that we still have room. We have been consolidating. We have been allowing the RSI to cool down. And then there'll be a spurt upwards because these kind of bull flags have a highest probability of breaking out on the upside rather than the downside. If you look at QQQ, it indicates that we are going to open up 0.15% because that's what the pre-market action shows. And if that happens, I think our resistance, which was at 583.15, becomes a support for us. Hi, good morning, hot dog. Thanks for joining us. And we have another support here, which is this diagonal line of resistance, which has become a support. And that's going to be a support at 586.30. Pre-market, we are already at 587.46. We are breaking all kind of records and setting new records for the NASDAQ. All the while, when the market sentiment, which was bearish, is starting to improve, MACD is moving further away from the signal line in a very bullish manner, and momentum is above average. And I think we are going to be very close to the RSI, which has in the past gone up to 74.97. I'm just looking at the recent past. So there's plenty of room for us to go up on the QQQ. So regardless of whatever the fundamentals say and other things, MACD and the momentum are indicating that it's all go forward, march forward. So just be careful, like a deer in the forest. Just look for the slightest hint of movement and get out of the market. I think I'm going to ride it as much as possible. I'm going to increase my longs, ready to just sell off at the very shortest hint of a turnaround. And that's the only way I can recover the losses that I have made with my shorts. So I'm going to take that risk. Put call ratio is mildly bullish to neutral. And let's go and look at our genomics. In genomics, I'm looking at Prime. Prime is creating a bull flag out here. We already have a target for the initial bull flag, and that bull flag target was at 7.23. Now, in order to reach that, we're going to create a multiple sets of bull flags, and I think our first bull flag is happening right now. And I would show you the length of this flagpole out here. This is the flagpole, and I would like to put a set of lines out here. I think you can consider this to be the flag. And if we break out on the upside, I think this bull flag will go in wherever we break out from. So if we break out today, which seems like the possibility out here, even though we do not have 5 or 6 of these candles, we need at least 5 or 6 candles out here before a breakout. But maybe the market momentum is strong enough that we break out today because it's showing a gain of 1.23% pre-market. If that happens, I think we break out from here. We are looking at a target of 5.21. So I'm just going to leave it as a flagpole and not a breakout. We'll see what happens when the market opens. But for today, we got support at 4.13. We are right now at 4.12. Probably we might open above this. So I'll leave it as a support. And let's go on to Intelia. Intelia is up 3.06% in pre-market trades. Kathy Wood bought some in the beginning of the month. She bought 4 million worth of this stock. That had given it a momentum to go up, and it's kind of consolidating. We have a support here at 11.33, which is going to hold, and we have got a resistance at 12.26. And if you look at Caribou Biosciences, it's up 1.11%, and we have a support out here at 1.61, and we have a resistance out here at 1.86. Right now we are at 1.82 in pre-market session. Overall, all the vitals of the chart show that it's weak. Now let's look at Beam Therapeutics, which is up 0.63%. Support continues to be at 19.15. And we have a bull flag which has formed out here, but we have resistance at 22.02. We'll watch where that goes, whether it can consolidate and then break out on the upside. We have Altimmune, which is continuing to go down. It's at 1.65% down in the pre-market session. And we have a support out here at 3.35 that continues to provide a support. And we have Editas, which is up 0.37%. This parallel channel is providing a support at the bottom at around 2.43 this morning. And we had the original line of support, which today shows a support at around 2.72. But because this is a dynamic line of support, even though it happened to be a support yesterday or at the end of the week, right now it's become a resistance. So I'm going to mark this as a resistance right now. Pre-market, we are at 2.70. Our resistance is at 2.72. If we break out above that, then we'll plot some new resistances. But right now, the main test is for it to break out above this diagonal line of resistance. And then we would have some meaningful movement upwards. Illumina is up 0.39%. It is still trying to break out above this neckline and continue to move upwards, but there is a little bit of consolidation that's happening out here. The gain was washed out towards the negative side, and today again we are trying to gain a little bit. So there is not much of a movement out here. If we were to zoom out into a weekly chart or something, we'll see a doji candle, I suppose, which shows indecision. So there's a lot of indecision happening with Illumina. Overall market sentiment is bearish. MACD is also bearish. Momentum is below average. So I wouldn't read much into it. We got this head and shoulder pattern, which is a bearish pattern waiting to manifest itself. But at the same time, the AI promise and the merger of genomics with AI all coming together in Illumina seems to be giving it a lot of positives. And also remember, Tempus AI is also venturing into the intersection of medicine with AI in a much broader scale. It's going in with a lot of diagnostics information over and above genomics. So that's going to be a bigger attraction as compared to Illumina, which is much more narrower. So I think Illumina is likely to lose a little bit of luster to Tempus AI. But Tempus AI can also use Illumina data and maybe steal a march above Illumina if it takes other aspects like MRI and other things and tries to find patterns out there. So I would say that Tempus AI's entry into this field and being able to show tangible results is putting a lot of stress on Illumina. That's the way I would look at this. And I would expect Illumina to break out on the lower side. And some kind of a tie-up between Illumina and Tempus AI is also probably on the cards. I'd like to hear from you guys whether you think that is possible. Put it in the comment section, and I would be happy to hear from you. CRISPR Therapeutics had a head and shoulder pattern, and we had a target out here of 35.50, but CRISPR is trying to defy that with a gain of 1.30% this morning in pre-market action. So I would say that our support still remains at 53.21. And we have a resistance at around 58.12, which is this regression channel that we are seeing out here. And we have Allogene, which is flat in pre-market trades. Grail is up 0.18% in pre-market trades. PACB is up 1.71% in pre-market trades. And we have a resistance now at 1.21, which was earlier support. And PACB seems to be marching downwards. Market sentiment is absolutely bearish. MACD is fully bearish, and momentum is dropping like a stone. So PACB doesn't look that great. ARCG is up 0.59%. Support continues to be at around 24.67. And we have Vertex, which is again keeping on consolidating out here. It's down 0.26% in pre-market trades. Market sentiment has turned bullish. MACD is also bullish, but momentum needs to pick up. I think the interest on Vertex might come in, and we would march towards the gap fill happening because it's still a company with a lot of monetized products. Of course, the diabetes solution will face a lot of problems with the inverse vaccine concept. So these guys have to get that act in place quickly. So my thoughts about them on diabetes, both Vertex as well as CRISPR, is getting a bit diluted when I look at the inverse vaccine possibilities. So and that's what I would like to mention out there. Ginkgo Bioworks is up 2.80%, moving in this bear channel, always downwards. And support today is going to be at 9.86, and resistance today is going to be at 11.50. And then I would like to look at Precision. Precision is up 0.79% in pre-market trades. And as it approaches this support out here at 3.65, I'm getting more interested. However, you can see that the market sentiment has been dropping even though it is bullish. MACD is already severely bearish. And we have momentum which has dropped but still above average. So I've got two tests for this. As we come closer to this support, I want to see momentum starting to pick up and staying above average. I want to see MACD starting to move towards the signal line. And if that happens and we bounce off this line of support and consolidate above that, that's the point at which I would like to buy Precision again, because Precision still is a positive story. It's just that the financing they have taken has got a lot of performance goals attached to it. And it's at a hefty tag, 10% plus per annum. So that's what I'm watching. As soon as they start monetizing and meeting those goals, I think Precision can start moving upwards. And then we have Eli Lilly, which is within this regression channel. It's above the median out here. And today pre-market is down 0.34%. And I think there is a little bit of competition in the obesity drug market, and that's the reason why we are feeling a little bit of pain out here. But overall, I think Eli Lilly is a pretty good company, and it should be moving upwards, and it should be marching towards this upper bound of the regression channel at around 847.85. I still have Eli Lilly. I'm holding on to it. I would like to look at RARE, which is Ultragenics. Again, a very strong bet in my opinion. There is bullish market sentiment. MACD is almost ready to cross over the signal line and go to the bearish side, but it's up today 0.63%, and I'm hoping that will help the momentum stay above average. As long as momentum stays above average, it's going to be good. In my opinion, Ultragenics is sitting on a really good opportunity out here. They have manufacturing experience, and if they just prove to FDA that they can overcome all the objections that were raised in the comprehensive response to their BLA, I think we can see a quick jump in the stock, even trying to fill up this gap out here. And we also have an interim target of 34.94 out here. Again, this is not financial advice, just my personal opinion, and I put my money into this. I'd like to hear from you guys what you think about Ultragenics. And then, of course, Rocket Mortgage, rate cuts should help it go up. We have a cup and handle pattern out here. Rocket Mortgage is not Genomics, but unfortunately, I've managed to put it out here. I've been forgetting it to move it out from here. It doesn't belong in AI either. So I would say that 0.95% gain is again a positive side. And we are moving towards our target of 28.58 in my opinion. Market sentiment is bullish. MACD is also bullish. Momentum is above average. There is a little bit of room above for the RSI. And I think the RSI can go all the way up. I think it has broken past around 80%. So I think there's plenty of room on the RSI. And I would not discount it going up at least all the way up to 90.11 on the RSI. So I think Rocket Mortgage has got plenty of room up there. So that's what I have for Genomics. And let us go and have a look at the other stocks. I think NVDA is looking negative. I don't want to speculate too much on these stocks out here. I've already taken a lot of time. I'm just going to look at a few stocks that I think we need to talk about. One of them is NVDA, where the Chinese antitrust action is working on it. And in terms of Amazon, Jeff Bezos has sold a lot of stocks, but we seem to have a line of support out here, which is going to give us support today at around 230.32. Right now, we are at 230.50 in pre-market. So if we continue to move upwards and stay on this diagonal line of support, then we still have a resistance, which is going to be at 242.04. Otherwise, we are looking at plotting new supports. And at least at the very bottom, we have support at 219.31. I do hold Amazon. I'll have to think about whether I want to retain it or sell it. I think it's performing lackluster for me right now based on where I bought it at. The other stock I want to look at is Microsoft. Microsoft is continuing to move down on this bear channel, but of late it has been consolidating out here, trying to prevent a bear flag from forming out here. So it has got a resistance of 514.29. It's got a support at 498.69. The attempt of OpenAI to go into for-profit status and the movement of Microsoft of approaching Anthropic, I think those are the things that are going to play out in the price chart out here. So I'm not very sure which way it's going to go. I'll reserve my opinions on that. I'm short on Microsoft. I continue to be short. Hot dog, I'm going to go to APLD. And have a look at that as well. Thanks for keeping it on our radar. Tesla is up 7.59%. Elon Musk has been buying into Tesla shares. I think he may want to take it private and own Tesla completely. He may be moving in that direction because he's got a huge salary proposal also, which will give him trillions of dollars to buy it up. So I'm going to square out all my shorts because I think I can't compete out there. I'm going to bite my losses and sell it and get out of there. Oracle is up 0.38% in pre-market trades. AMD is up 1.58%. It's moving away from our double bottom charts. And I think as soon as it crosses 163.18 resistance, I'm going to remove this target and all these markings because it's going to be a moot point. However, market sentiment is still extremely bearish. That's what is holding me on there. I want to look at Tempus AI. Tempus AI, if it manages to crack the all-time high, I think we are going towards 95.43. That's will be the new high. Market sentiment is bullish. Everything is bullish. Pre-market, we are up 1.87%. And I'm also invested in Tempus. So I'm looking at it. And APLD is continuing to move upwards. It's up again 10 cents in pre-market trades. Market sentiment has become bullish. MACD has also become bullish. RSI is entering into the overbought status, but in the past, it has gone all the way up to 86.30. So I'm going to stay bullish. I would expect a little bit of consolidation out here to create a new bull flag that we can move up on. So the previous bull flag was from here to here. And then we had this flag movement out here, and then we went up. And then we started coming down again. So the previous bull flag did not realize completely. So we had the next bull flag going up here. And then it came down and proved that it was no longer a bull flag. And now we have this huge movement upwards. So this movement is totally independent. I'm thinking that for it to go up further, it has to create a consolidation out here. It has to create some kind of a flag consolidation on the basis of which it can move up further. So that's what I'm looking for to with regard to APLD. So Hot Dog, you're thinking that it will meet your target out here. What is your target? And do you think after that it's just going to turn around and fall back? Please put that in the comment section so that I can understand your thinking and recalibrate my thoughts as well. So right now I'm thinking that we have a target of 24.73 and I'm staying invested. Then the other thing I want to look at is Rigetti, which is continuing to move from strength to strength. So I'm kicking myself for having sold it out at 16.10 and booking losses. I should have stayed invested, but I'm not venturing into Rigetti again. So that's what I would like to say out there. Wipro also, I had sold it off. It's trying to move up again, but I'm happy with that because I think most of the Indian IT companies, let's look at what Hot Dog is saying. I'll get out around 21 just because I'm nervous of dips after the Fed cut. Oh, I'd forgotten about the Fed cut. Yeah, we don't have the FOMO happening out there. So maybe, yeah, that's a good possibility, Hot Dog. So I think I'll also consider that after this session. I'm going to consider that and see how far we can go until Wednesday. And maybe I might end up either selling a call or maybe selling the holdings and waiting on the wings to see what happens after the Fed rate announcement. So good point out there. I had totally forgotten about it with regard to Tempus and yeah, with Wipro, as I was saying, most of these Indian IT companies like TCS, Wipro, Infosys, these companies, they have not been able to create their own products. So I'm thinking that if they do not successfully do something in AI, and if they continue to be just leveraging manpower, I don't think they have a good future. So I have a lot of these holdings on my Indian investment side in my Indian portfolio in India. So I'm thinking that it's time for me to sell them off. So I'm looking at my tax considerations and other things while doing that to make sure that I don't sell all of them at once. So this could be a right time to do it because we're in September. We could sell off some of those shares right now and then sell off some in the next year and take some profits, pay a reasonable amount of taxes and move the money into some other sector, preferably financials or something. That's what I'm looking at. So I'm not much regretting having sold off Wipro. Also, we're going to have the H-1B pressure in the US, and that's going to be a lot of offshoring by these IT companies out here of all the legacy thing that they want to continue doing out in India, for which they can't get the personnel into US. So all those cut-off war things are going to happen. So I'm thinking that there's going to be a window of opportunity to sell the Indian IT sector and wait on the wings to see what happens with them if they decide. And if they manage to come up with AI services and AI offerings then that would be great. Now, having said that, I think I would like to just finish this live stream after looking at the currencies. So in the currencies, I'm looking at Bitcoin, and I'm thinking that Bitcoin is definitely forming a bull flag out here, and it has got to break out on the upside and potentially test 120,000 level. I'm still bullish on Bitcoin, and I think the market sentiment is bullish. MACD is also bullish. Momentum needs a little bit of picking up. I think out here also we'll have a little bit of impact of the Fed rate cut announcement, and we'll see what happens out here. But I'm thinking that if gold prices go up, gold prices going up would mean that unviable gold mines will become viable and more supply will come in. So that's going to keep the prices elevated, but they may not allow gold to go up much further. Bitcoin is entering into a stage where, with the halving and all done and the rewards being adjusted, there could be a little more Bitcoin coming in, and the dynamics of profitability in mining and all those things will play out. But ultimately, we have a finite amount of Bitcoin, but that could not be the case with gold. So there's going to be a point where Bitcoin will be absolutely finite. And there are lots of Bitcoins that have been lost in the wallets where people have forgotten it's gone into a landfill or things like that. People have forgotten their catchphrase and passwords and they've lost Bitcoins. Those are out of circulation altogether. So the total number of Bitcoins that is possible, and the ones that are still available, and the ones that are yet to be mined, they're all going to become very finite. And it's just a matter of time before the entire market knows how many Bitcoins are there. Out of them, a good portions are going into the treasuries of companies like, what's the name of this? I keep on forgetting him. Anyway, there are companies which are just holding Bitcoin and they're becoming proxy plays for Bitcoin. So those MicroStrategy, those kind of companies are just holding on to it. So there will be less and less available for the retail investor. And because the number of coins are finite, that is going to be a real big boost to Bitcoin. So I think that I'm going to hold on to Bitcoin for a longer period of time. I think overall there is bullishness. Any dip is an opportunity to buy. Again, personal opinion, not financial advice. Then I would like to go and have a look at XRP. So XRP, again, it has broken out of this bullish pennant and it has got to move upwards. I would consider this to be a bull flag forming. And I think the ultimate target is going to be somewhere around 4.64. I'm holding on to my XRP. I also like to talk about gold a little bit. Gold still has opportunities to go up because there's a lot of central bank buying and that gold is not going to be available for purchase. There will be a lot of proxy instruments which will be looking at gold as the underlying and continuing to sell options to buy and sell. Those kind of things will continue to distort gold. But again, gold has got a reasonably finite amount. And unviable mines can only be viable to a certain extent unless we have the technology to mine asteroids and we come across asteroids which are near Earth, which can have gold deposits. And we have the technology to go in and pick up those golds. Again, of those kind of gold deposits will become expensive to mine. So all of them lends to higher price for gold going forward. And also with geopolitical conflicts and highly indebted governments cutting rates and doing another QE, fiat currency prices, fiat currency value has got to go down. And if fiat currency values goes down, then you have gold, palladium, those kind of things picking up value. I would have said diamonds as well, but with synthetic diamonds, diamonds have lost their luster. Diamonds are steadily losing their value. People are cranking out synthetic diamonds, flawless diamonds of bigger size, on demand. So the diamonds have lost it, but platinum, palladium, gold, these are the things that are going to still hold value, along with Bitcoin, which has got absolutely finite numbers that are available. So even though there may not be a use case or something that we are seeing at this point of time, like in XRP, I think Bitcoin is still worth it. So guys, I would like to get your feedback regarding crypto as well, if you have any, and put that in the comment section. With that, my friends, I would like to just go and briefly look at the gold chart, which is out here. And you can see the gold chart has got a target of around 3890. So I'm looking forward to us breaking this bullish pennant on the upward side, which is the highest probability, and moving up. The market sentiment is bullish. MACD is also bullish, and momentum is above average, and RSI is on the overbought scale. Even though in the past we have gone all the way up to 84.10, I think that there is still room to go up. And this consolidation is welcome because it allows the momentum to cool down a little bit, the RSI to cool down a little bit in preparation to move upwards. So that brings me to an end of the session today, my friends. And thanks for joining me. And also thanks for watching my amateur handheld videos about Trent River and my vacation out there. It was very refreshing. Thank you very much. And I'll catch up with you again in the next video. Bye for now.